Hey everybody, it's the Abstractionist. It's Tony. How are you? I am going to do, hopefully it's a quick video, about, it's going to be twofold. It's going to be two different videos. So one of them is going to be how I've changed as a tarot reader, and one of them is going to be how I've changed as a tarot watcher. So this one's going to be how I changed as a tarot reader. And I feel like the main thing for me that I've changed as a tarot reader is that and you guys would have noticed it, that I'm far less frequent than I used to be, and yeah, like just far less attentive to like the channel and reading and stuff like that. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I just kind of, I've had my like enthusiasm for tarot, and it's died down. And you know, sometimes people leave tarot after like they've exhausted what they needed to, and they kind of like either stop practicing and reading altogether, or they stop doing it online and they just go offline and do whatever they need to do, right? They either develop a shop in person or online, and they just don't feel the need to be in the space, or like they just start reading for themselves only or friends only or something like that, like outside of the online public eye essentially. I don't know exactly where we're going with that, but I do find myself dwindling down, and I think because I see the tarot space changing a little bit, and this kind of will go into how I am as a tarot watcher. But I kind of noticed that yeah, like the people who are, I think the people who are really into a practice and stuff like that, like they post less and less, and some of them, a lot of them have gone offline, the people I watch. So tarot watcher video is gonna be sad, but they don't post like that frequently. Like they may post like every week, maybe every other week, but most of the time the people that I think are on more the intellectual YouTube tarot side, they may post like once a month, twice a month. They're not posting like every other day. And I kind of feel like I'm on that wave now as my life gets fuller. I think the reasons why I came to tarot are being resolved, and so the need to interact with it has become less and less. So it's on a watcher side, there's that. On the reader side, I also feel like I've gotten bored. There's only been so many like tarot decks that you can buy and stuff like that, and not that tarot decks haven't been like fun, and there are tarot decks that are in my mind, but I think they're not occupying my mind anymore as a reader to like get them and read for people and use them. I think I'm more fascinated with vending and actually going out in public and reading. And so for me, I get a lot of joy in like a little bit of a high. I get a little bit of a high and joy in reading for people in public, because I kind of feel like general readings, not you can say whatever, but I feel like general readings are just that, they're general. When you're reading for someone specifically, they want like answers, and they're coming to you, and it's a very kind of just direct kind of thing. Like I feel like you can tell if you are growing and evolving in your ability to read by like reading for other people and not necessarily gauging their reaction, because sometimes you just say stuff that they don't want to hear, like they have a specific answer in mind and you're not fulfilling that, and so they will get mad either way. But I like interacting with them and picking up on little things, or maybe just bringing things up that they need to just look at, right? And that's my approach. I have grown in that I don't really like predictive 3 years, 3 months, 3 days. I don't like time limits. Now, as a tarot watcher, we're going to get into this, I think. But as a tarot reader, I personally don't do a lot of predictive things. I personally don't like, I don't deal with topics like relationships generally. Like, some people come to me for that, but most people that I've read for, they're like general. And the people that have watched me or come to me when I've been vending for relationships, like, it's serious relationship shit. It's not like, you know, like, I just feel like I'm gonna have somebody. It's like real shit. Like we need to like really like look through and examine and like, you know, stuff like that. So I like reading for people, like really reading for people, like one-on-one. And I think it goes to like who I am. I'm much better one-on-one or small group anyway. I think being in large groups can be very exhausting, like very exhausting, because you have to split your energy amongst many people and, you know, cater to a lot of different things, and the dynamics shift within like seconds. If two people don't get along all of a sudden, or someone just feels down out of the blue, or there's an external force that kind of like threatens half the group, you know, like, you know, like stuff like that. So I just like one-on-one, where I kind of feel like a lot of the confusion is gone. And as a tarot reader, I feel like a lot of people, it goes back to my tarot watcher thing, but as a tarot reader, I feel like advice, that's kind of leaking in from my tarot watcher, but advice is, if you have your favorite tarot readers, like, stick with them and some of the people that they are around, because I feel like energetically you'll kind of vibe on the same thing. And not that you can't try new people, but what I find as a tarot reader is that the more new people you find, the more diluted they tend to be. No lie. And I just feel like sometimes a wave, they not on the same wave. As a tarot like reader, I've noticed that I've also don't fit into any like niche. I don't fit anywhere as a tarot reader because I don't read by zodiac. I'm not a huge collective person. I read by planet, that's kind of collective, but then kind of not. I'm not, you know, 100% in the romance, like, you know, like, I'm not 100% in the romance, I'm not 100% in the pick of cards, I'm not 100% in the astrology, I'm not 100%, you know, it's like a very eclectic kind of vibe over here in terms of what I'm doing. I'm not necessarily also in the pagan, witch, like animist kind of place, even though I am an animist. I'm not in any of these spaces like rooted down in there, right? And I kind of like thought about like, should I like go in that direction? But then I'm kind of like, I don't feel like I want to be committed. Like, I feel like if I read planetary for 2 like years and then I switch to these like color readings, I want to just be able to do that without like, oh, now I'm like the pagan druid person. Like, you know, like, I don't want to be like, I just want to be like free flowing. And I think also that's with me in my scheduling. Like, I don't want to have to do like 12 zodiacs like every month and stuff like that. Like, I just want to read when I want to read. And I was watching someone like recently, and they were just mentioning like readers, like the readers that are very like, I can do a reading for you right now. Like, it's like kind of like be wary of them, because it's like, damn, like you haven't even like settled yourself to like do a reading. And that's another thing, like if I don't feel up to it, I kind of used to push through and like do a reading or whatever. And not to say that it wasn't resonating with people and stuff like that, but I kind of just feel like now, because I'm not trying to put stuff on a schedule, it's like literally when I feel like it, when I feel like we need to talk about this or we need to do this video, that's when it comes through and it's the most authentic. So I would definitely, if you are like me, you're starting to kind of get weaned off of watching tarot like every month for your sign, every whatever for your sign, then like follow that, because it may be like you can go longer periods without watching tarot, but like when you do watch tarot, it's very nourishing and it's very like fitting for where you are in your life. This is a travesty on the tarot watcher side for me, because I contradict all that I just said. But as a tarot like reader, I know that like once you start to like infrequently post and stuff like that, one, you're getting shifted your path. You weren't supposed to do this shit, so they're like, get the fuck off of this. Or two, you're getting deeper into it, but like that's going to require more time from you. And then three, you're probably becoming more authentic to how you're going to actually read and actually do whatever spiritual work you're going to do. Because it's very easy, I think, to just churn out the same kind of videos over and over. Even though I like the videos on the tarot watcher side, I'm gonna like get into it. But I think if you're a tarot reader and you're really getting deeper into what you want to do, you'll probably not post like every day. Like you'll probably post a little less, you know, and they may become like longer, they may become shorter. You may start, you know, getting channel where like the message is very potent and it comes through in 2 to 5 minutes, and some people, we got to do this thing for an hour and really get into it. But I think as you get deeper into what you want to do, the excess kind of comes away. So like the number of people you watch dwindles, and the people you really resonate dwindles. The topics that you're seeking, they shift a lot. You may shift out of the initial things that you used to go into as a tarot reader. I was very into deck hauls and stuff like that, and now my watch later is full of deck review, deck haul videos I haven't even watched. And there's like this idea of, I don't even really want to. The only reason why I keep them on there is to like discover new people. For the most part, like I don't be bothered. But there's that. So I just be like, okay. So for me, you know, I'm on this ritual craft. I'm looking at some of the decks. And it's not even for the decks of like, oh, I need to use what I have. It's just a genuine, I'm not interested right now. Like, I'm not in that phase right now. I think as a reader, sometimes you're just not in the phase to do just a lot. Like, you're not in the phase to read a lot. You're not in the phase to write a lot. You're not in the phase to do a lot. You're just kind of like riding the wave and experiencing. And that's how I feel. I'm just riding the wave and experiencing. I don't really feel the need to do like a whole bunch. It just seems like I'm experiencing a lot that I need to just ponder and think about. And that's, you know, once I get through those things, that's where I'll be able to come back online, so to speak, you know? Because some of these decks are really nice, but my tarot list is kind of done. One of the decks that I really did want is out of stock. Maybe it'll come back in stock soon or something like that, but maybe not. Maybe it's out of print now. And it was an art kind of deck, and that's really the only one that when I found out that it was done, I was really bummed about. But other than that, all the other ones so far in my mind, I'm not like, oh my god, because I think I've satisfied that curiosity for right now, and there's other things that I'm curious about. I think also as a tarot reader, the more you grow and develop, the less you'll want to use tarot as an outlet, and the more you'll want to use other things as an outlet. So that's art, music, exercise, podcasts, blog writing, video making outside of tarot. I feel like once you start getting into the flow with tarot, and as you start developing yourself, because I feel like tarot is a tool that some people need to kind of get them from one point to another in terms of an outlet for them. Once you kind of get momentum, you'll probably start shifting your energy to other ways of kind of like expressing yourself. And kind of, if you are into spirituality and you need to speak spiritually, you'll kind of move on to the things that you really should be using, right? Like if you really don't need to be using cards and you need to be using like bones or coins or feathers or whatever the fuck it is, like you'll start to naturally just go in that direction after a while. And so that's something that I have kind of like seen as a tarot reader. I've also noticed that a lot of people, you know, the life of a tarot reader isn't necessarily a long one on YouTube. There's a lot of tarot readers, you know, that pop up all the time, which I find questionable. But some people, again, some people, they're only meant to do this for like a specific season and then they go off. And then there's some people who are on YouTube for 15 years and they've been reading tarot. You know, those are probably the ones where this is where they need to be. Other people, they need to be on YouTube from 2021 to 2023 and then dip and then leave, right? And don't come back on here. But yeah, so a lot of the readers that I've seen go offline or just disappear, I really feel like they were really good readers. Really good readers, I feel like had really excellent perspectives. I was able to take a class with one of them, and yeah, they're no longer on. And she said it, like, she was like, my time on here is done. Like I feel my time on here is done. Like, there's nothing else to do. And someone else that I followed too, she was like, you know, like I think the end of last year or something like that, that my time on here is done. Like, I don't think I have anything to talk about. And so if you're a tarot reader and you feel like, you know, you feel like you see other people and they get on here and they get, you know, I had this thing of like they get monetized and all that kind of stuff, and then you're like, oh my god, like I want to like read tarot fully and professionally. You know, it may not be your setting, and it just may not be yours, like your space to do it on YouTube. It may just be somewhere else. And I would really like let you know that when it's time to leave and you feel like you want to leave and you don't want to do it anymore, to not do it anymore. Especially if you don't want to do it online anymore. You just feel like, I would rather just do my online classes or just go to the local like shop, you know, witch shop, and like do stuff there. When you feel that like call to move, like do it, you know. Another thing, I just feel like the tarot space, I feel like the tarot space is losing a lot of good tarot readers. You know, they're losing a lot of good tarot readers, and then like there's tarot readers who are like kind of switching a little bit, and I guess becoming a little bit more like marketable to people. And I don't know, like I've seen some of the content that they've made since, like there's one in particular, I'm like the content is catering now to like a certain crowd that, you know, is going through its own lessons, but I kind of like, I don't know, it just feels like the reader has cheapened what they were doing, and maybe that is their path, that they have to like talk to that crowd, and maybe whatever their messages are meant to elevate people. But yeah, I'm just kind of like, but yeah, that's kind of my ramble on how I've changed as a tarot reader. I just have become a little bit more introspective and unwilling to like just read to read, just get on here to get on here. Like I have a life, and I think that I did use tarot as a way of not living my life, and at some point I started to like forge my life and like actually live and go outside and shit and touch grass, as they say. But also just realizing that the mundane and the spiritual like exist as one. Like, to be mundane is to be spiritual, and that like you don't have to be like in a closet like chanting to live like a spiritual life. Like you can go out and have a beer and go to a concert and talk to people and have like a partner and hold hands and just go to the grocery store and like cry and have an argument. Like you can do that stuff and like you're still living a spiritual life. Like spirituality doesn't look like chanting in a closet. It can, but it doesn't look like that for everyone, and you don't have to mold yourself to have it like that, because I find that that side of YouTube sometimes is very boring, as into spirituality as I am. I've also feel like I've gotten less into like spirituality. There's like so many things. It's gonna be a long video. So many things. I keep saying I'm gonna wrap this shit up, but so many things that I like was into that I'm not into now. And I think I've said this in several videos, but Starseed, Star Planet, I'm not into that no more. Like I don't really, it's not like a rejection of a concept. It's just, you know, like I don't resonate with that, and I don't know if I ever really resonated with it. It's like some of it, the only thing I resonate with is Atlantis, and it's only because I had dreams as a child of being like underwater and stuff like that. So that would be my only like planetary type energy. And Atlantis was here, so it wasn't like, oh, it was like here, you know, allegedly. Crystals, I'm not really big on those. Every crystal that I've ever gotten pretty much gets like rehomed. Like I had the Mystic Mondays, and I have that because I wanted to complete the set, but I'm not a big crystal like holder. Like I don't really hold a lot of crystals. I used to be. Witch, pagan, those aren't terms I use anymore. I just use animist. What else? Zodiac readings, I don't watch those anymore. And I don't know anybody who does. Like I follow my Zodiac like stuff on Instagram and stuff like that, but as far as like watching a reading per month, not really. I don't check in on my Zodiac like that. And mainly it's because I just kind of feel like we get stereotyped with the Zodiacs. I don't know, like, because I'm a Cancer sun, people just like, you're just crying a lot, and it's like, no, like I have like real issues. Like what are you talking about? I have real issues, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I broke my leg, I have real issues, or like I'm about to lose my job, like, you know, shit like that. Like I have real issues. Like this relationship is putting me through it. This is real relationship. This is like real shit. Like not like I just need to cry in a corner all day. You know, I feel like people just use Zodiacs to stereotype people, and it's just like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, but yeah. So this video is like 23 minutes long, and I did not mean for it to be that long, but it's a ramble, and the people who are gonna watch it are gonna watch it. If you're on my channel and you're on it just for the readings, I'm sorry, but like I find these videos to be more enjoyable to do. But yeah, anyway, this is like how I've changed as a tarot reader and kind of like what I have seen across the board. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm about to do the how I've changed as a tarot watcher. You might be surprised. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.